Hello, my friend. How are you doing? Happy Wednesday. This is Heather. This is the Back to Me podcast. And guess what? Happy Canadian short work week because Monday was Thanksgiving. Because in Canada, I guess we like to get our Thanksgiving over before the crazy holiday stuff starts. And it's just a really nice time of year, really, to have a day off. I personally went up north. We call it up north, although if you look at the map of Ontario, it's still it's still Southern Ontario because Ontario is really big. But if you live where I live, driving a couple hours north is we went up north and we went up to a friend's cottage, which was fabulous, and we went for walks in the woods, which was great, and the leaves are changing and it's gorgeous and so beautiful and it just fills you up, which I love. But interesting. So as we were strolling, you would meet people on the road. And in cottage country, you get to know who your neighbors are if you're on certain lakes and you walk a lot and you stop and chat. And at one point, there was a group who were clearing the culverts or the ditches on either side of the road so that, long story, spring runoff, overflow, ice dams, it messes up the road. So if you clear them in advance, then your road has a better chance of not being damaged in the spring. So they were clearing, and we stopped to chat with them, digging ditches and blowing leaves around and raking leaves. And it was at one point someone said, "Our road is the nicest cottage road," because there are several roads around these various lakes that are close together. And then someone said, "Oh, no, our road is the nicest cottage road." And I was just struck by, no, perhaps it's human nature. We have this strange human foible where we feel like we need to compete, no matter what it is. It's a dirt road. But has to be better than someone else's, or it's the perfect village contest or the flower growing contest or the best Halloween fit because Halloween is coming, best Halloween costume contest, or this is better than that, and we're in constant comparison throughout our lives, especially if we don't notice and we don't kind of pause and say, hold on, does it really matter if my neighbor has a taller tree than I do, or if their flowers are a brighter red than mine, or their car is bigger than mine, or smaller than mine, or shinier than mine, or if my neighbor is taller than me, or shorter than me, or their hair is, you know, less white, more white, I don't know, colored, more pink, blue, green. So, and I understand a little bit why this happens. We want to make sure that we are doing well. And if we haven't paused to really get an internal barometer of what what do I think wellness looks like for me? Or what do I think success looks like for me? What would I really like for myself? We fall into the danger of comparing where we are and what we have with somebody else, whoever happens to go by. And what's more interesting in some ways is you could be completely happy. You could be completely happy with where you are and tripping along and, singing a tune. And then, and this is the tactic of advertising, is you see something, you're like, oh, now you're not happy. You're like, you compare yourself to where that person is or what that person has or what that product is. And you compare it to what you have. You think, oh man, I'm not I'm not happy anymore. But why is that? What changed? Nothing really changed. You still have the thing that was making you happy. It's just now you think you're lacking something, right? So being able to recognize that that's going to happen to you, because I don't know if it doesn't happen, but recognize that it does happen to you and then say, hold on a minute. Am I really unhappy with what I have? Will that thing really make my life better? Will I don't know, fill in the blank of anything where you compare yourself, will that comparatively make anything better in my life, right? Maybe it will. Maybe if you I guess I could think, maybe if I go to the gym one more time a week than I'm currently going, I will, unless you already go 7 days a week and you're overdoing it. But, maybe one extra day a week at the gym will make me that much more fit. And yes, I know people compare themselves externally to what fitness is, but maybe I could walk up that hill faster and not get so tired. And then, dun, 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 if you want to compete that way, I can get to the hill faster than the next person. But even then, I don't race people, even the race that I was in. So if you were listening, if you checked out the On Being a Badass episode, you know that I raced in the Huntsville 110 and kayaked 110 kilometers. But let me tell you, I wasn't trying to beat anyone. I was just there to see if I could do it. And even when I ran races, so I ran, I started with, it's a bit of an illness. I started with 5Ks and then 8Ks and then 10Ks, and they kept getting longer and longer until I was running marathons. But I was never racing anyone. Interestingly, I liked the energy of racing because someone asked me this the other day. So I liked the energy of racing, all the people, all the support, um, kind of that camaraderie, but I was never trying to beat anyone. I was just going out to see if I could do it because I thought, well, I'd like to see if I can do it. So I'm going to invite you the next time, and this happens on the highway all the time. I don't know if you've seen it. Well, you've probably experienced it. You're driving along, and it might be you or it might be someone else. But if you're starting to pass someone, they'll start to speed up, and they're probably not even doing it consciously. Or maybe you do it. Maybe someone starts to pass you, and you just unconsciously start to speed up. And we have this kind of preset setting in our brains where somehow we don't want people to get ahead of us or to have more than us or to be better than us. And I like to think that we could find a way to say, instead, be happy for those people for what they have, evaluate whether what they have is really what you want. And then what is success, or what is the thing that would really make you happy? What would really make you happy? And then instead of comparing what you have to other people, compare to yourself to where you are now and say to yourself, okay, self, this is where I am currently. Good on me. I'm doing really well. This is where I would like to be. This is what I think success looks like for me. So if it's not where I am, if it is where I am, yahoo, party time. If it's not where I am, and I mean, there's always room for improvement. I'm always tweaking myself. You know that. That's why I do the podcasts, the celebrity chats. I always learn something new when I talk to my celebrities. I love them. I love all of them. They're so amazing. But it's where I'm. Well, yeah, here I am. Squirrel. Heather's easily distracted, by the way. So here I am. This is where I am today. This is where I would like to be. Irrelevant. It's irrelevant where other people are because everybody's on their own journey. Somebody's success would be I wouldn't say failure, but I might get to a place where I'm like, ew, actually, that's not what I want. So let everybody have their own version of success. Let's do that. Everybody can have their own version of success. That's a good party time. So what is your version of success? And remember the On Being a Badass episode, don't aim too low. Aim for something. I remember in the corporate world, we called it stretch goals. Aim for a stretch goal, achievable, but maybe a little harder to get, unless you're already there. And if you need, and so what do you want? What do you really, really, really want in your life for you? Be selfish. It's not selfish, by the way, to be selfish, but I'm going to use that word just so that you can get into that mindset of what do I want? And then take out the word selfish. It's just for yourself. And then figure out what's your first step to get there. What's the first thing you're going to do to move towards that? It could be a long-term goal. That's okay, right? What's the rush? Life's too short to be in a hurry. So I'm going to invite you again. I invited you earlier. I'm inviting you again to think about, take even 15, 20 minutes in your day someday and sit down and even write it down. I know we did an exercise at one point where we wrote down our perfect day, but you don't even have to go that far. Just daydream a little bit. Let your mind go wild. What would you like your life to look like? Compare it to where you are, not where your friends are, because that doesn't matter. And what are you going to do to start to move you towards that? Because you can have it if you want it, right? Just might take you a little bit of work to get there, and that's cool. And then, of course, if you can't decide to where to focus your efforts and energy, or you can't decide where to start, or you can't even decide how to imagine a perfect day, I'm available to talk with you. Absolutely. You can, if you don't even know which part of your life you need to work on first, pop over to the website. There's a quiz there. It's so great. The wellness quiz. It'll tell you, I talk about the 6 areas of wellness: physical, yes, always physical, financial, professional, relationships, emotional, spiritual. Just take the quiz and just see. It's for fun. Take the quiz and for fun and see what you get. And that might help you get started. Or you can pop me an email, or you can, just send me a message and I would love to chat with you. And I am Heather. That's who I am. This is the Back to Me podcast. And I'm going to invite you to stop competing with everyone and just do things that you want to do, my friend. I hope you have an amazing day. Check out the podcast on Friday with Silky Hairwall. I'm going to pronounce it. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. Her name's Silky. And she's so interesting. She's a grief coach, but a little spin on grief. So go have a listen on Friday. Take care, my friends. I will see you soon. Have a beautiful rest of